Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on removing brackets. When we remove brackets for terms involving surds, we use the same rules that apply for algebraic terms. Let's look at some examples. Number 1, 5 outside of the square root of 2 plus 4. So if we remember, the term that's outside of the brackets, we multiply it by each term inside. 5 times the square root of 2 is 5 root 2. 5 times 4 is 20, so that's the answer. They are unlike terms, so you cannot add them together. Number 2, 3 the square root of 5 minus 4. So 3 outside of, that's outside the brackets, the 3. And inside the brackets we have those terms. So that will give us 3 the square root of 5 minus 12, because 3 fours are 12. They are unlike terms, so they stay as they are. The third one, we have the square root of 7 outside of the brackets and those two terms inside. The square root of 7 times the square root of 3 is the square root of 21. Multiplying the square root of 7 by 4 gives us 4 the square root of 7. Unlike terms, so we leave it as it is. Number 4, we have the square root of 3 outside of those two terms. If we multiply those two together, that gives us square root of 6. If we multiply those two together, that gives us the square root of 15. And that's the answer. Here we have two terms inside a bracket multiplied by another two terms inside the brackets. If we remember how to do expansion, we write the square root of 3 outside the brackets, and then we write square root of 2 plus 4, which is those terms. Then we write 5 outside of the bracket, and then we write the square root of 2 plus 4 inside. When we multiply the square root of 3 by each of those two terms, we have those two terms. When we multiply 5 by those two terms, we end up with those two terms. None of those are like terms, so that is the answer. In a similar manner, we have those terms multiplied by those. Each of them are in brackets. Each of those pairs of terms are inside the brackets. That is the expansion. When we multiply the square root of 2 by those two terms, we get that. Of course, that's the square root of 10, and that's the square root of 14. And when we multiply the square root of 3 by those two terms, we end up with that. So they're not like terms, so that's the answer. You cannot combine those. So this video has given us a very basic introduction, and it's shown us how to remove brackets when surds are involved. And the rules are very much similar to what we do when we are dealing with algebraic terms.